take for a character to achieve icon status. Hi, I'm Katherine, and today we're going to break down how Lydia Deetz from Beetlejuice the Musical became Broadway's newest it girl. Today's video is sponsored by great performances, so be sure to stick around to hear about all of the cool shows you can watch for free on PBS. Question of the day, do you want to play Lydia? Why or why not? Personally, I don't. I think she's great, she's awesome, but she's not really in my wheelhouse, so I think I'll wait a decade and play Barbara instead. But I really want to hear from you, especially if you love Lydia. Why is that? Let me know in the comments down below. So earlier I mentioned the phrase Broadway it girl. What exactly is a Broadway it girl? I have no clue because I made it up right now. That's right, I came up with it. It was my idea. We're discussing that phenomenon where a new show comes out and then everyone has the exact same part on their dream roles list. I'm talking Elle Woods in Legally Blonde or Veronica Sawyer in Heathers. Some make really obvious sense, like everyone obsessing over Hamilton or Dear Evan Hansen. But Lydia is an especially interesting case to consider because Beetlejuice didn't see that same success. It didn't sweep at the Tonys, it had a relatively short run, it didn't even recoup its initial investment, meaning that it lost money. So this show has got the odds stacked up against it, and yet it absolutely blew up. Everyone knows Beetlejuice now, even the people who aren't normally into musicals. So how did Lydia achieve icon status so quickly? I think we can break it down into two main categories: Lydia in pop culture and Lydia as a character. Now, Lydia's place in pop culture is much more established than your average musical theater character, and that's for a number of reasons. She's achieved icon status because she's crossed over so many different mediums. Now, a trend that we see pretty consistently in musical theater is the importance of that crossover into the mainstream. Whether that be the commercial success of Grease as a movie or the ability to turn Little Miss Perfect into a TikTok trend. Beetlejuice is of course based on the 1988 Academy Award-winning film of the same name, directed by acclaimed filmmaker Tim Burton, featuring an all-star cast including a baby Winona Ryder as Lydia. Now this is noteworthy for a number of reasons. Tim Burton as a director has a major following. His films are super recognizable because he has a very unique aesthetic, especially in the commercial space. His signature eccentric gothic fantasy style is one of the most recognizable modern filmmaker trademarks. Beetlejuice would also mark the first collaboration between Tim Burton and Winona Ryder, establishing her as one of the recurring players in his works. Keep in mind that Beetlejuice was Tim Burton's second time directing ever and Winona's third acting role, widely regarded as her star-making role. Winona Ryder at the time was just an up-and-coming actress, yet over the next decade, she absolutely dominated the box office, starring in 21 films, including the likes of Heathers, Little Women, Girl Interrupted. So now you've got this combination Venn diagram, people who love Tim Burton, people who love Winona, and Beetlejuice is the film that started it all. From there, an animated Beetlejuice spin-off series was created and ran for almost 100 episodes. Now, I mention all of that to establish that Lydia is already cool and iconic in her own right. Tim Burton leading Lady, Winona's breakout role, it's not just the musical, it's the love for her that came for decades before it. I mean, combine that with the recent resurgence of Winona's career thanks to the massive popularity of Stranger Things and the debut of Heathers the Musical, and you've got a whole generation experiencing Winona's work for the first time ever. Another piece of this puzzle really comes back to style. Lydia is such a great option for Halloween costumes or cosplay because her look is so recognizable. And that style happens to be really trendy right now, largely in part due to e-girls and the rise of TikTok. If you don't know, which I'm sure you do, e-girl is a style inspired by 90s skater fashion, anime, and goth culture, which pretty perfectly describes Lydia's style, especially from the musical. This is gonna sound so self-explanatory, but I need to say it out loud so I can connect the dots for myself. Pop culture and fashion have a major impact on what becomes cool and trendy. Remember like 5 years ago when Stranger Things premiered and everything was suddenly 80s nostalgia? From the music to the remakes to the fashion. And then at the same time you saw Heathers get this massive popularity spike? That's the same idea. So over the last few years, e-girls have really come into into the mainstream and really dominated TikTok. And I think that's a really interesting component to this story. Generally, different kinds of social media attract different kinds of people, but I think it's really interesting when you start to see a general style on a platform. You know, when you think of Pinterest girl, you probably think jeans and boots and scarves, very like Christian girl fall vibes. But think about Visco girls or Tumblr girls or Insta baddies. The e-girl has kind of become synonymous with TikTok, and we know pretty much the rest of the story from there. Musical theater cast recordings get really popular on TikTok because of the way they're repurposed. Beetlejuice blows up because people who might not usually be into musical theater recognize the original source material. They start incorporating Beetlejuice music into their own creativity on the app. TikTok itself becomes more and more popular with tons of people joining during quarantine. So all of that goes into this perfect combination to set the stage for Lydia and Beetlejuice to step back into the spotlight. So now that we've discussed why the masses love Lydia, let's dive into the theater world. So like I mentioned earlier, Beetlejuice didn't do super well financially or critically, but the fans loved it. Pair that with the Music Man eviction scandal and you've got a bona fide underdog story. Now all of these theater fans who casually liked Beetlejuice were now actively rooting for it. Beetlejuice became the symbol of rebellion against the big money of Broadway. But why do so many actresses want to play Lydia? Let's talk about her as a character, both literally and emotionally. Lydia fulfills not only the mainstream ideal, but the musical theater ideal of what a contemporary leading lady looks like. She's a belter-skrelter with pop rock vocals, she's sarcastic and relatable, she's recognizable outside of the Broadway zeitgeist, and most importantly in my opinion, she's a young, strong female lead. This is a point I've made in some other videos, so I'll try to keep it brief, but as theater fans and performers skew younger and younger, so do popular characters. Fans want to see themselves represented in the art they consume, and she's like Veronica Sawyer Jr. in more ways than one. I think there's also something to be said about Lydia as an aspirational character. Whenever a fan aligns themselves with a fictional character, I think it's really telling about the way that they see themselves or the way that they want to be viewed. You know, what kind of qualities do they want to be associated with? Lydia feels invisible and misunderstood, the same way that a lot of us feel growing up. But she's special. She's the chosen one. She may be lonely, but she can talk to ghosts! And that is infinitely cooler than my junior high experience. She's rebellious, she's sarcastic, she remains unfazed by pretty much everything. She's a great foil to sweet but geeky Barbara and try-hard Delia, so in comparison, she's a badass. So all of this put together, Winona's resurgence, TikTok's dominance, Tim Burton's legacy, the ever-increasing demand of great material for young performers, it all came together in a perfect storm to make Lydia Deetz Broadway's newest it girl. Well, I will say all of this Broadway talk sure has me craving some accessible theater, so let's see if we've got an ad for that. Has this ever happened to you? It's a Friday night in November and there's nothing to watch. Stupid TV. If only there was arts programming available at my fingertips. Oh, but there is. Who said that? Hi, it's still me, and I've got some great news. You'll get that pun in just a second, because Great Performances on PBS is hosting their 4th annual Broadway's Best Lineup. That means every Friday in the month of November, PBS will be bringing Broadway to your living room. On November 6th, they'll be premiering One Man, Two Governors, starring James Corden in his Tony Award-winning role. I remember watching him on the Tony Awards and thinking, oh my god, I need to see him in this role. Also that he should host a late-night talk show where they perform full productions in busy intersections. Yeah, that's right. I came up with that idea. On November 13th, you have the premiere of Fiddler, A Miracle of Miracles. This is the first documentary to chronicle the complete story of Fiddler on the Roof. It even features rare archival footage and intimate commentary from the likes of Joel Grey and Lin-Manuel Miranda. Next up on November 20th, you've got Irving Berlin's Holiday Inn. This is a pro shot of the Broadway production starring Bryce Pinkham of Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder and Corbin Bleu of the High School Musical franchise. And my childhood summer camp counselor is in it, so that makes me cool by association. November 27th is the world premiere of Lea Salonga in concert. She's an international musical theater superstar known for her iconic performances in Once on This Island, Miss Saigon, and
Les Miserables.
In this concert, she performs her signature songs spanning through her whole career. Wow, all of that sounds awesome. Thanks, me. But wait, there's more. PBS offers even more theatrical content you can stream, including Much Ado About Nothing starring Danielle Brooks. I watched it earlier this summer and can I just say, it was so good. If you're looking to get more into Shakespeare but you're kind of intimidated or you don't know where to begin, start with this production, especially if you're one of those people who are like, Shakespeare isn't funny in the modern day, it just can't compare with modern comedy. Well, shut up, you're wrong. I will fight you. To enjoy Broadway's best, you can watch on the PBS video app, you can head to pbs.org/Broadway on PBS, or you can tune in to PBS at 9 p.m. Check your local listings and enjoy. Was that classy enough? Well, that's gonna do it for today. If you're new here, hit subscribe to join the musical theater internet cult because, surprise, we are a musical theater internet cult. You can follow me pretty much everywhere at Kath_Steele. You can also check out my vlog channel. A little reminder that I'm hosting a Killer Slumber Party, which is a virtual Halloween event. It's benefiting the Actors Fund. Tons of your favorite Broadway celebrities are going to be there. It's gonna be so much fun. It's on October 28th, so if you haven't gotten your tickets yet and you want to, I'll link them down below. I hope you guys are having a great day. I love you so, so much. Break a leg, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!